So it's the Makeup Queen, and this is my first one. So if I happen to mess up a little bit, you'll grow with me. All about eyebrows. Um, okay, as you can see, I already did my brows. I actually use just a razor. It's simple, it's fast. Even though I have to do them quite often, I still like the razor. Now, there are a lot of techniques out there. Threading is a very nice, clean line. Uh, I'm not one for pain, so I don't actually do that. But my sister absolutely loves it. I have a lot of friends that go with threading. You can go to barber shops. A lot of barbers are really good at eyebrows with the straight razor. It's a clean line as well, but as I said before, you have to do it quite often. You can do waxing, which I've actually done before, and after you start to do it, it gets a lot easier with the pain. Um, but I kind of prefer to do it myself if I'm gonna wax. Um, okay, so what we're gonna start with, these are what I call superstar brows. I normally wear them every day because I think that the brows shape the face. So now, most of the makeup that I'll be using, unless I state otherwise, is going to be MAC. A lot of people know that I used to work for MAC for a very long time, so they are who I prefer. I was using MAC products before I started working for them, so I was already in love with the product before I started working and using it solely. Now, I do use NARS products as well. I love NARS's bronzer, Palm Beach. It is absolutely beautiful, and it's in a stick form. So, but that's a whole nother show. So, but right now, MAC has a brow pencil um, that comes in a roll up form. I'm actually out of it, but I've been using just an eyeliner that matches my brows. And this one is actually just Wet n Wild, actually. And they don't seem to really go anywhere. Normally, if you can set a pencil, it won't move, especially your brows, you're not really touching them. But if you can set it, you don't have to worry about it going off your face. You just also always have to remember to set it with a powder on top of it, as you'll see me do later. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows. We're going to go, yeah, we can start with this eye. And I actually, it's not really like a hard, it's not really a hard, I'm not pressing down hard. Something really soft hair-like strokes. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. I also use MAC brushes. I absolutely love them. Um, and the reason I do, I've not run into many brushes from different companies that I actually like. MAC brushes, well, without me trying to sound like I'm selling MAC, but MAC brushes are virgin hair. They're also, first and foremost, they're cruelty free. So these are brushes, the animals are just getting a haircut. They actually, farm these animals, domesticate, and whatnot. But these brushes are cruelty free, and they're virgin hair. So it's the very first haircut that the animal gets. And that makes for easier blending and things like that. Now, a lot of people love when MAC comes out with their seasonal brushes. Their seasonal brushes are also awesome. And they're great starter brushes. They usually come like 5 in a pack for maybe $48, maybe $50. Never really seen them at $50, but $50 and below, anywhere between $35 and $50. And they are in sets like face, eye, things like that. And if you're really into eyeshadow, I would go with the eye palette. It does have a face brush in there, but it usually comes with something for the lid, a blending brush, an eyeliner brush, and then a normal foundation brush, maybe like a, I want to say, what brush comes in there? Sometimes it's the 187, like the miniature, which is a really good brush. But they're the second shearing, which means it's the second haircut. So the hair on those brushes aren't as fine. So you have to do just a little bit more work as far as blending goes. But they are still awesome brushes. And I do believe that they have the best brushes at this time. Well, especially at that price point. So I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. I'm actually using a, which one is this? 369? 309? I think it's the 309. And we're just going to blend the line out. Alright, I see the mistake that I still had there. And again, short hair-like strokes. So that it looks just a tad bit more natural. And you don't want them super dark. But now, as you can see, like you can see them more defined on line here on this camera. Whereas before, you know, you could see them, but you can't. So if you're taking pictures, family portraits, anything like that, you definitely want to fill in your brows so that they don't get lost. Light reflects, and you know, our hairs up here are very shiny, so sometimes they come off really light. That's why you want to fill in your brows. I'm going to take concealer, and I'm going to go around and outline my eyebrow, and it makes it stand out that much more. Okay, so I am using MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC42 because I am an NC45. Okay, so we're going to, I'm gonna go ahead, let me get a little closer for you, and outline my brow. And the great thing about Studio Finish Concealer is that it covers absolutely anything. It's the same consistency, actually it's really the same product as their full coverage foundation. Which again will cover tattoos. But that's another show. But as you can see, that I've taken the concealer and put it down, but I've also brought it down. I'm not just going to keep that line up there. So we're going to pull that down to blend it down. And then when I put base all over my eye, we'll blend up. But even, you see the difference from one side to the next. Oh yeah, that's better because that light is fuzzy. But you see, now that you can see the actual shape of my brow, it stands out. Superstar brow. So now you can actually see my brows. Okay? Also, if you've missed any hairs, this is what is great about MAC Studio Finish Foundation. Studio Finish Concealer. If you've missed any hairs, the concealer will cover them up. Greatest trick ever. Okay.
We've been together for a while now. We're growing stronger every day now.